Basically, we're not going to eat it, and it's a lot easier that way. I always start at the head because naturally we want to go with the quills. You go the other direction and you're going to be in big trouble.
And like we were saying, each pelt could run you between 30 to 60,000 assortment of quills on them.
You could take your time and go like this every single time to get them, but there's always that one quill pointing in the wrong direction.
Yeah. Do you think it'll help if I pull
If you're going to hold that like there, that'd be awesome. And the best part is, when I throw it back in the woods, the animals they get access to this. They don't have to wait for this all to rot before they get to this. This was a nice, healthy portrait.
Yeah, he was beautiful. Like if I don't have time to skin it right now, I would just roll it out, put it in a towel, roll it up, and put it in the bag, and just freeze it. And that one only takes like 2 days to defrost, and then you can start cutting this pelt, right?
Quills are starting to come through where the tail is.
So now he's cutting right through the tail.
This is where the hammer
and
comes in.
there's the hammer.
Now, where's the head part?
Yeah, right there. There you have.
And here's the head right up here. Yeah, so
So
this
now
is
you
what
got
you're
this
left
nice pelt.
with. Nice long pelt. You see that the belly has no fur, no quills on it anyway.
Yeah.
See, and the guts and everything they're all still intact, so they're not spewing everywhere. And he's got the comfort of knowing that he's going to be part of artwork from now until the end of time.
Yeah. There you go. And it's so cool to the touch when he's So it's almost like you just grab it and yank it. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Because see, this part you're holding on to it. Give it.
So once you get off like that, you must have to have a lot of.
Yep. Just go lightly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you only get.
Yeah, because I think she got most of them. But if you want to go right here, like you'll see more hair here. Let's see. Yes.
I've done moose tuffing.
Yeah. You're going to flip it over, and this doesn't harm your quills because you're going to be cutting on this here, okay? So even just looking at this, you can see where the nice fine quills are and how they get thicker as you go down. So if you wanted to, you could have did what I just did. We skinned it, put it on an old towel, roll them up, and put them in the bag and just set them in there till you're ready to. Now, he's been out since Wednesday, so he was cool nicely. And then now, if you're ready to start cutting, what I like to do is I try to go down the center. So all you're doing is just slicing.
His knife is dull too.
Oh, is that one really sure?
That's what he said. That's why he put it back in the bag.
That's why, eh? Yeah, so basically this is what you're doing. You're going to be cutting down.
When you're cutting rabbit fur, you want to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you each get like a hunk of that or something?
Yep. So if you want, you can come over here and try cutting. Like, yeah. So you're just splitting it as you go, and you're just cutting it. Okay.
Just cut it like straight line?
Yeah, just straight line.
Yeah. Just cut.
A little more portion.
Well, I don't want to go too hoarse.
Yeah. There you go. There you
So
go.
we got 5. This is straight down the back, and this way everyone gets a bit of these quills. Yeah. So basically, you're just slicing right across. So
Yeah, because you don't want to go down too far, right?
no, because then you'll
You'll hit the
quills.
Put the golf tee in the place of it, and then you got.
So there's our first
So you grab it through the
piece. So just looking at the pelt, you can see how nicely the quills are. Like, what kind of? These are beautiful for framed art or doing quill boxes. Yeah. The quills you got, and you got some beautiful long ones, which are really nice. And then you got some nice mixture of thick. Beautiful.
Thin ones down here.
Yeah, the nice fine ones here. So you got a good variety pack there going.
This is the one for me, is it?
Yep. We're all gonna get 2 pieces. You should get 2 pieces each.
Okay, so
So Jesse, you're gonna get this.
no matter how I grab it.
Yep.
That closed up.
So you'll
It's
see
like,
that
oh, you got
they're,
it doubled back on itself.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
They're all
so
sticking
you
up
can
on
get the
and
guard
got that
hairs
name on it?
too.
Okay.
Quarter of
So
this.
close.
We want soapy. And then
So how do you find the
We're-
bars for the quills?
we're
You sell them
going-
on eBay or something?
and you're gonna.
You sell the quills on eBay
And we
or?
don't even have to tell them what we're doing. Yeah,
No, I
no.
mean, if I was to do it,
If you were doing it,
Here's the trick. Just swooshing around
you get no pictures of it?
and see how you can grab the hairs and dump that out. So you just swirl around and you'll magically get hair. See the hair? You swirl around, you got the hair. That way, when you go to rinse them and stuff, you don't have any hairs anymore. Yeah. You just let her soak. And then while this is going, like you're gonna see the bubbles, this starts looking blackish brown. You'll know the dirt's coming off.
oh yeah.
Yeah. When I see the lightning bugs, I usually go out the first week in July. I can harvest bark right up until probably mid-August. We found this year was quite early. I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah, it was really hot this spring. It was really hot. And I don't know if we got a lot of rain, but not a whole lot. Just a few drizzles every day almost, but not enough. I don't know if that made a difference. But this time of the year is when it's the heat that you need.
Yeah.
Because if there's old logs laying around that have been cut and have good bark on them, you can warm the tree up, the birch bark wood up behind the stove and keep turning it and warming all the sides, and then eventually you can pop it. It'll pop right off. But a lot of our people didn't do that. They just waited till the spring or the fall. The second harvest is in the fall when it's Indian summer, and that's only about a week and a half. And that's for making heavier stuff like the canoes and the larger pots and stuff that they use, water kettles.
So when you get around knots, that's where the spatula comes in handy to help pry it away. So you probably need it here because that's... So see how we have a little break here? That's a nice piece there. Look at the pretty pinkish hue.
Gorgeous.
And when you're looking for the bark, you try to look for the ones that don't have the huge wide lines on them going across, because the bark will crack easy when you're doing your quill work. Plus your quills have to be fine. You don't use the big wide ones because those are for different types of work. But for quill work on birch bark, you use the fine quills.
When you're making quill boxes, you have to use, you have to cut 3 of everything because you're going to need a liner. But the 2 pieces that you use constructing your quill box, normally you need one where the lines are going up one way and then horizontal on the outside. But it's up to you. If you want to, you can go reverse. You can have your lines on the inside and on the outside going up and down. They have to go opposite directions. The reason why is because once you start quilling, it will cause it to perforate and fall apart. So if you have the lines going in opposite directions, that's it, that kind of pulls,
Seals it,
yeah, and holds your quills in place.
If you pick it, you're supposed to clean it where you pick it. So the seeds that you get out of the
Okay.
sweetgrass, the bottom of the sweetgrass, there's a seed in there. When I first saw those a long time ago, I thought they were fleas or something.
Okay, so they're,
little dark brown things. Eh?
okay, so
And I said, what did I bring home? Then I looked at each one of the sweetgrass, because it's late in the fall almost. Yeah. But once the frost is there, the sweetgrass isn't good to pick anymore because it's starting to turn brown.
okay.
Yeah. And I just, I make sure I clean them. And then when I bring them home, I tie them in little bundles, no fatter than my thumb.
Okay. So
Little wee bundles, and then I tie them, and I tie them in and make one long strand,
Okay.
and hang them up to dry in a dark place, like in a closet or somewhere. But there's a lot of work. You have to harvest it when it's ready, the bark and the quills. Nowadays, because there's a lot of motor vehicles, there's a lot of roadkill.
Yes.
There's hardly any porcupines you find around here now. One time you could go to an apple tree somewhere and you'd wait a while and you'd sure enough a porcupine would come along. And you got breakfast and you got quills. Underneath the moss you'll find these little orange threads. And when you look at the moss, you can't see the leaf that good here.
Yeah.
But there's little leaves, small leaves on them.
A little leaf right there, green one.
Yeah. Almost like it almost looks like a strawberry leaf when it's green. And it's shiny. And you'll see that on the moss, on top of the moss.
Okay.
And when you lift the moss up, this is
That's
what's
where
under, where you'll find all these gold threads.
Nice.
Yeah. And you don't wash them out.
No?
No,
You
when it dries, the dust will,
fall out.
it'll all
Okay.
fall out. Because when you wash the medicine, you loosen half of the strength.
Okay.
It makes it, it's just like if you had a half a cup of tea and added water to it.
Okay. So yeah. So what would you use as medicine for?
It was used for even small babies who were in what do you call that, thrush or something?
Oh,
That
okay.
for babies when they're nursing. And then when you have sore eyes or sore throat.
Ooh.
I once in a while I chew these.
Oh, so you can just chew it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you chew it for a little while, you'll notice the bitter taste.
They have a bitter taste.
Yeah.
And how do you work it to get your yellow dye?
You just put it in hot water.
Just hot water?
Boil your water and then drop some of this in. Now it's a little late for the birch bark. The buds on the birch tree. When they're just buds before they come into a leaf,
Okay, yeah.
that's where you get your green.
Really? That's where you get the green.
The black, you can get that from juniper berries.
So the other thing people use birch bark for too is you can cut it into strips to make baskets, or like Becky, making beautiful flowers with it as well.
And you cut them out, just cut the petals out. And you curl it with a dull knife.
Okay, just to give
Yeah.
it that little
Yeah,
curve.
and then you have to add a little pleat to it, like, because you
Little
can't,
pucker.
you
Yeah.
can't really cut it too thin
Okay.
or too narrow.
Nice.
Harvey made a teepee for his mother. The old lady used it all up making flowers. Most of the time I put whenever I can get a hold of blue bottles with the covers.
Oh, yes.
And the
Those-
blue keeps the sun out, so they don't fade or turn color. It'll stay the same color no matter what it is. I think her name was Elizabeth Paul. everybody called her Aunt Elizabeth. And she used to come with us blueberry picking, and she used to babysit for some of the people. And she would get the boys to cut wood for her, and she would make baskets. And she would dye them with blueberries or whatever kind of berries or leaves or
Yeah.
roots. That's how she dyed her baskets. And in the olden days, they used sinew. They didn't have thread that time, so they used sinew from the animals.
Yeah, and that was the cool thing about spruce root. It's so versatile that you can just store it away, and then when you're ready to use it, you just soak it, and you would leave one end dry and just twist it, and this was like your needle.